Hello again. Okay, so let's go over Comppile. Again, you might have already watched the video I put up a few minutes ago, but if you didn't, one of the things that I said in that is that I had no idea that the screencast that I uploaded last week was not showing up on YouTube with any sound. And because I was not able to correct it, what I ended up doing was making a new video for your week 3 logistics because the same thing happened this time. So I'm just using a different application, and it seems like my voice is picking up and carrying over onto YouTube just fine. So again, I'm sorry about that. It's very perplexing. I don't know what went wrong, but this will make much more sense actually hearing me talk about it as I click through this. So here is Comppile. It is a widely used resource and field. It's not a great search engine, unfortunately, but what it is it's when you're looking at a general use database, which I'll show you over in the library resources, sometimes what you'll notice is that the number of disciplines represented there are so expansive that it's hard to hone in on WRTC research. And Comppile is has all of these records through June 2015 that are flagged by people in the field as resources within WRTC. So you'll notice on the front page that if you put anything in here, nothing will really happen. So let me just do like title, creative. And you'll see that what happens when you hit search is that it brings you to all of the records, and that's not so useful. So what you want to do is put your search terms in here. So let's put creative. So one of the things that I was saying last week in the video that didn't carry forward is that a nice way to start your research is usually to do a title search of a term within, so you can find things that are sort of unambiguously related to what you want to look into. Comppile is nice because it will give it to you in descending order. And the usual rule of thumb is when you're researching a topic, you don't want to look too far beyond 10 years ago. However, with the theoretical tracing project, one of the things that I said to you was to look all the way back, because your idea is to trace a term in field from its inception all the way through, so you want to see what has been written there. So here is another topic that we could do, because I was thinking about Caroline. I already know her topic for her research proposal is going to be related to health and wellness, and so you could start simply with something like putting health into a title search, and you see all kinds of results come up there. That helps her to wrap her head around the conversations in field that already have to do with rhetoric and medicine and health and wellness and writing. Lots of stuff on technical communication within the health sciences to look at, and so it's a starting point there. The other place, of course, where you could look is going to be in the library website. One thing that I talked about with you last week in that video that you couldn't hear me talking in was how to access the library resources from off campus. And that is quite important. So if you are not on campus this semester, you will need to go to this website in order to connect through JunoPulse to the library resources. They have really detailed and good instructions here. There's a video, and they say that the preferred method is Junos Pulse rather. You download the app and you connect through the app, and it's really, really easy and helpful. The other option is to set up a proxy server, but honestly, I have never been able to get that to work. So my suggestion would be to go with option A, and it's good. And if you're a JMU student, you know it's a nice thing to have connected already for future projects. So first, you want to get yourself where you can actually access the stuff on the library. Then you want to go to the databases. So a nice place to start would be with this research databases and resources. The librarians, of course, have advanced degrees in research, and they are flagging these databases. And here is Liz Thompson, our WRTC library liaison. She's flagging these as particularly relevant to the discipline. One of the things that I said to you last week, which I'll say again since you did not hear me say it, is that the academic search complete is a nice place to start. Why? Because it's a decently good search engine. It's got a lot of journals represented there, and it's easy to use. So if you're, sort of new to this, it's a good place to start. And so there you have it. This is actually an article by a friend of mine, which is funny. But you'll keep playing around with your search terms until you get it to spit out some stuff that you want to see. The idea with the theoretical tracing, though, is to make sure, obviously, I'm inviting you by virtue of how that assignment is written to choose something that you really are interested in. So one of the things that Caroline and I have been corresponding about over the last couple of days is the fact that she is very interested in researching something within health sciences, her major. And so for all minors, that's a thing, right? And we talked about how she could plug into this assignment might be to design a study where she's looking at which kinds of writing acts lead to more successful running, because she is a dedicated runner as well as a health sciences student. So we talked about how she could recruit 20 women, college-age women who do not currently have a running routine, who are interested in getting started on one. Have half of them use a particular fitness app, let's say Couch to 5K. Have the other half keep a traditional pen and paper journal about their experiences. And then at the end, convene focus groups or do individual interviews and collect what they did in writing, either on the app or in their notebook, to try to determine if some writing acts seem more useful than others in terms of getting a person to become interested more long-term in taking up something like running. And that kind of information would be immensely useful to figure out, and it's related, but she would have to get in here and figure out what are people already doing in health sciences and rhetoric and writing, and how can I sort of recreate that conversation in my qualitative research proposal so that I'm demonstrating to my audience that I am working in the field. That's very important. And so that's what I'll say to the rest of you as well. Make sure that you look carefully through this week, week 3. You want to read through this entire assignment. Look at how the student in the example, who is a real student, who was just in this class in the spring, and how she moved from something that piqued her interest to full-blown research questions to a research design, okay? This is a really important piece of the project, this 4 to 5 pages here, and in particular where you relate the principal literature to the proposal. You have to figure out what has already been said on your topic, recreate that for readers, get on those databases, but also, importantly, it's not that Caroline can't cite things from sports sociology or kinesiology or health sciences to talk about her topic, but it is that she also has to recreate what is being done in the field to make a case for its relevance, right? So that's something that I'll say to everyone. So I hope that this has been a lot more helpful actually than last week's video, and I'll say that luckily I didn't grade anyone harshly, but this is kind of what I had in mind for the theoretical tracing, was that you would do this kind of research there. Of course, another place to research is Google Scholar. And the nice thing is, if you are on campus, Google Scholar is going to pick up on that fact and show you essays to which you have full text access. So let's say health and rhetoric here. And it's going to give you these lots and lots of results. So we've got, and then you can customize your range. So you can say you only want stuff from 2005 to 2015, and that gives you a different set of results. And then see here, since I'm on campus, it's going to say check for full text at JMU. That's a very nice thing. If, however, you are not on campus and you come up with, this is a great book, by the way. If you come up with something that you really, really want to see, and you're not on campus, then you see here, okay, it's in the Primary Healthcare Research and Development Journal. Then what you can do is go back to the library page, and on the front page here, as long as you've got your research or your access set up, you can go journal titles, and what was it? Primary Healthcare Research and Development. Then you want to say healthcare. and see if the library has access to it, and it does. So here it is, right? So then you would just click through to this and say, okay, what was the issue here? It's going to be issue 6, volume 4, issue 6. And so, oh, maybe that is not helping us actually because of, 2005. So 6.4 is here, and then you find your article that way. So that's like sort of the more tedious way to do it, but some students like to do that. So again, if you're on campus, you're golden. If you're not, you would have to sort of do this workaround to get access to the article. What will happen otherwise is sometimes you'll click on a result in Google Scholar and it's going to say to you, oh, you don't have access to that. You can pay us $15.99 to get this essay. Well, if you do the net math and you're trying to gather 10, 15 sources for your research proposal, you are not going to have the energy, the money rather, to do that. So better to sort of put the steps in to find it through, again, it's the periodical locator, which is very easy to get to from James Madison University Library homepage. You just put in title and then journal titles, and it's going to tell you if we have full text access to it or not. Okay, so that's the same thing you could do for, like, let's say when you were doing your journal review projects, if you're looking for a particular journal, oh, here it is, 1982 to the present is available full text through Taylor and Francis online. So I hope this has been helpful. I am in the office this week, as I mentioned in the last recording, Monday through Friday. So give me a call on my office line, 568-8018. That's on the syllabus as well. If you need to talk with me in real time about something that you're up to, you can also, if I happen not to be here, you can shoot me an email with your phone number. I will call you so we can talk more. But certainly don't feel like you don't have a lifeline here if something is getting tricky. Looking at the calendar, right, the summer session is really already winding down. You are halfway done. And everything needs to be in by June 12th. So that means that from today you have 11 days to finish those last 3 readings, the last 3 discussion board contributions, and your qualitative research proposal. Also, you want to make sure you look carefully back through each module, being sure that you contributed to everything that you were supposed to contribute to. That will help your grade in the end, because remember that you're earning 3 college credits for this course, even though it's crammed into 4 weeks. So even though in a regular term it might not seem like a big deal to skip, say, a discussion post or to post the required number of replies to your peers, in something like this it is going to make a big difference. Okay? The final thing I'll say here is if you owe me any projects, it's a really good idea to give me a heads up over email when you hand it in, if it's handed in late, because Canvas doesn't always alert me, and I want to make sure if you handed it in that I'm giving you feedback and a score. Everyone who handed in their theoretical tracing, I already graded you, so check that out. And again, everyone should be following the replies and other information that I add to the discussion board, because it will help you to further your understanding of the readings and the terms and concepts that you're learning. Thanks so much.